Hi everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Praise. Today I'm going to share chapter 7 in our body clutter book. Also, before I start, I just wanted to share that I received these microphones. They're Mini Mic Pro 2024 Dual Pro Crystal Clear microphone is what it says, and this is the box that they came in. This is one of them. And then it just comes with a little clip. I don't know what you call it. Goes into the phone, which I have in there now. So I'm using one. I do have it clipped on. So I'm hoping that it doesn't make a lot of noise if I move around. I haven't tried it. I did a test earlier and it seems like it's okay. So I'm hoping that it'll work out well. So chapter 7 is called Building Your Routines. And I know, like, I don't know how you guys are with routine, but I like to have a routine of things that I do every morning, or at least the morning. I don't know. Everything else is kind of all over the place depending on if I have appointments or whatever. But of course, like, I do want to have that planned in advance as well. But one thing is I'm trying to build a routine of journaling. Like, I've always been a journaler, like I said in that previous video, which I think I put up a few days ago. But I wouldn't always do it every day. And I noticed that when I do take that time in the morning, it does help me throughout the day, and kind of just have something consistent, I guess, is what it is for me. So let me share some of the things that that stood out to me and that I highlighted in the book. Now they're talking about having a routine, a daily routine of baby steps. So these are things like if you have a routine of cleaning your home, certain days you do this, or you do like a full deep cleaning on a Saturday, or whatever it is that you have set up. So this is to use in our eating habits as well, and moving. So the first thing I highlighted was, in order to incorporate healthy eating into your life, it needs to be part of your routines. So part of that includes to keep an ongoing grocery list. And when you do the shopping, make sure that you're prepared for that. And years ago, when I'd go shopping, I just go shopping for things that I was just used to buying. I wouldn't go with a list. I wouldn't go with any kind of real plan. I would try to remember the things that I needed. And when I'd get home with stuff, I'd either forgotten half of the stuff that I actually needed and bought other things that I didn't really need, and probably shouldn't have bought, goodies and things like that. So since moving out here to where we are now, when I've gone shopping with my husband's mom, she's a list maker when it comes to grocery shopping. So I've gotten into the habit of making one. I still struggle with that when I go shopping sometimes, because I'll forget. So I'm going to incorporate that into a commonplace book, which I'll explain a little bit more. I think I talked about it a little bit in my journal tag video with the journaling questions, but I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more later in this video, or maybe in another video. Hold on just a minute. My dog is knocking to come in. All right. It wasn't even him. It was one of my cats who was walking around, and she just was scratching on the carpet or something out there. So let's see where I was at. Oh yes, the commonplace book. So I'll talk about that, and I'm going to add, I don't know if I will just have a separate one just for that, which that's kind of what my mother-in-law does. She has this little small spiral notebook that she uses for that. And so I'm considering something like that. Now the next thing is also you, what did I, excuse me, that I highlighted. You also have to figure out how you need to eat, when you need to eat, and what would be the best fuel possible to keep you flying and happy. When these baby steps are incorporated into a routine, big things happen. You have a greater inner resolve to go forward. You can see your way to a new goal or two, and you start feeling almost invincible. So, and a little further down, it says body clutter will fall off with less effort than you think. Because I think a lot of that has to do with we're listening to our body. So, generally speaking, there's a lot of food out there that's not good for anyone. However, if certain people go and eat, a bag of M&Ms and some ice cream and a couple small bags of chips or whatever throughout, a day or two or whatever, it may not affect them the way it would affect you or me. It just depends on our body and what is going on with us in the health, in our health. Now, of course, eventually, if we eat like that all the time, it's going to affect everyone. But for me, especially now learning what it means to have an autoimmune disease and what that means for me and how I need to take care of that, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. It's going to be a lot of trying to figure out, well, what foods are making me sick. And then I also have the Mounjaro injection, which it seems like there's different foods that make me sick at different times. I could have something last week. I had, let's say, enchiladas or something like that. If I have them this week, they might make me sick. Depends on the time of day that I eat it. It depends on maybe the amount. I don't know. But it's one thing that I'm still unsure of, and I know part of that is with hypothyroid and especially with Hashimoto's. The way I understand it I've been watching Dr. Berg. I think one is called Dr. E and something. I can't remember the name, but if I get a chance, I will try to link some of those videos in here. If I remember, I'll write that down and just have a list of some of the things that I've been watching that that talk about this stuff. And the dairy, gluten, are two of the main ones that can cause disruptors because it's a lot to do with our hormones and the way our hormones react to things. And some of those food items can cause issues with insulin, with our thyroid and all this kind of stuff. So I have to take a shopping list that's going to be close to what I can have. And that might require trying out a certain food for a week and seeing what happens. And another thing I want to do is try to track that. So that's one thing I've been talking about, and I've been trying to remember to write this down, but I'm having a problem with coming back at the end of the day and writing down that in the notebook that I've got, because I got a composition notebook. It's just, I think I showed it in the last one. It's a dot grid notebook, but it's the composition size. And I do carry around my journal with me, sometimes in my book bag, but usually if I take that with me, it stays in the car. If I go somewhere, if I go to an appointment, I'll take a book down with me, but I don't always take the journal. So something like this, like my commonplace book, it's just a small, let's see if I can give you an idea of what it looks like, next to a pen. So it's just this size. I know there's smaller ones. This is a really good size for me, I think. I found these, I think, at Dollar Tree years ago, so I'm hoping I can find some more of these because it's been really hard. I haven't seen any in a while. But something like that, maybe to track the food. So let's see. The next thing is, she talked about using each meal of the day and snacks as baby steps to build your routines. And that's going to help your metabolism stoke and your fuel burning. So what she does, and I'm not sure this is Leanne that's talking about this part in the book. She eats, let's see, she's saying, here's what eating 5 or 6 meals a day looks like. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus 2 to 3 snacks. For a snack between meals, like Fly Lady, which is Marla, she eats 11 almonds. Leanne eats a string cheese and an apple. Occasionally she'll eat almonds, but she has a tendency to go over the 11. So it's about knowing yourself and knowing your limits. And that also means what foods are going to affect you as opposed to someone else. And you have to be willing not to get bogged down by the simplicity of it. And I think that's the thing. I do this. I want to make a bigger thing out of what it is, I guess. Like, oh, I can't have any of this and I can't have this and I don't know what I'm going to eat and I don't know. It's the all or nothing, the fight or flight, that whole like catastrophe type of thinking. So, and it's that idea of overthinking it to the worst possible scenario, because it's like, if I don't do this perfect, I'm going to fail. So then I never start because I've already failed in my mind. So, the next thing that she says is, this is something that a personal trainer said that stuck with her. He said that in order to make lasting change, you need to burn more than you take in. That's as simple as it is. So if you're going to consume the same amount of calories you're consuming now, then you need to move more to be able to lose the weight, to be able to get healthy. If you do a calorie deficit, then you still got to move, but maybe not as much as you would if you continued eating 2,500 as opposed to 2,000 or whatever it is, calories that you do. And it's just about adding something to your routine, something small to your routine, some baby step, whatever that is. Like, for instance, at a morning walk, if you're, not a 45-minute hike in the woods, not a 25-mile jog, a walk. If you already walk 5 or 10 minutes, then add another 5 minutes or another just 2 minutes, or do a 10-minute walk in the morning and a 5-minute walk in the evening or something like that. Like, or start with stretching, something. Another thing that she says is, another thing that often stands in the way of reaching one's goals is procrastination. And that comes with my overthinking, all or nothing. I got to overthink this. I got to think about it till I just don't even want to do it anymore. And I never actually plan it out. I never actually start it. And that's exactly what she says. If you put off planning, you won't have anything to work with, because you didn't set the goals. You didn't write down something. You didn't. And I know you can use your phone to do a lot of the scheduling. You can have a calendar. You can have alarms for this. You can do notes on your phone or whatever. I can't. It doesn't work for me because I will get distracted with watching videos on YouTube or checking emails or Facebook or whatever. And then it's like the endless scrolling or that. So analog, write it down in a notebook. Plus, there's something about just writing things down, and even consistently writing the same schedule every day if you have to on your calendar. Walk, take the, it just helps you to remember something, just like they did in school when they had us copy things out of the book. It's so that we can memorize things. Now, understand that the saboteur is procrastination and the lack of planning and nothing else. It's not you're doing something wrong or, all this stuff. And if you are doing something wrong, it's not that you're doing it intentionally. Maybe you decide that you can eat this certain type of food and all of a sudden you figure, oh no, this is making me sick. But like, it's a trial and error. But when you just don't plan for it, or you don't even consider checking in with your body and what's going on, that's where the failure comes, because you never even started. Your priorities will dictate your plan. Procrastination is the polar opposite to that statement and will pull you down faster than anything else. Stand your ground, make your plan, and go forward. Baby steps and routines will add balance to your busy life. You can do this. So, do you guys plan? Are you planners? Do you do like any type of planning. I know there's all sorts of different ways. I do have a planner. What I did in my planners before is I would write out scriptures every day. That was part of my planning thing, and maybe appointments and stuff like that. Right now, my planner is mostly appointments. I've been tracking, I was, and I had this last month and a half, I've been a little bit iffy, tracking my daily sugar levels, and also my weight, which is also something I've been lacking. Although I did do that today, and I did lose 1 more pound, I think, from the last time that I checked. I've got to I'll go through my planner and I'll do a weigh-in, check-in type of video soon. But it's all about planning. So in my planner, I mean, this planner is kind of already set for what it is. So I'm going to use this tracking system, some type of planning, other planning, either get another planner or just maybe add in something to that, some kind of artistic, crafty thing to put into the planner I already have that will be just for tracking food and movement and all that type of stuff. Now, this part is Marla talking. This is Fly Lady. She's talking about aerobic workouts and things that, what do you like to do? Do you, like to be out in nature walking? You need to do more of that. You like bike riding, if you like dancing, incorporate that into your exercise routine. She talks about being an aerobically challenged person I guess it was in a dance class new dance step or an aerobic workout type of class that she was in. And then the one thing that I highlighted out of that was this problem isn't with the muscles in your arms and legs. It is with the muscle that is in between your ears. This goes back to wanting things now and not wanting to slow down and learn the individual steps that it takes to be able to do the dance. We want to watch and presto be able to do it ourselves. Your brain is what works those muscles. Routines are just baby steps put together into a dance that makes you fly. So if you go in learning anything, you're not just going to be able to do it immediately. It doesn't work that way. We have to learn the steps. Just like in school with math problems, you had to learn the steps. And then once you learned each individual step, you were able to put it all together and solve an equation. It's the same thing with our routines for aerobics. If you've done it before, you might be able to jump in and just do it again. But if it's something you haven't done in a very long time or have never done, but it's something you really want to learn, it's going to take time. And that's where I struggle. I struggle with slowing down to take the time. I want to do it fast. And if I can't do it fast and right away, then I don't want to do it and I'll move on to something else. It's something I'm working on. And then the all or nothing thinking. We know that you will be tempted to create a long and torturous routine at first because it goes back to our all or nothing thinking. You have to be willing to step out in faith and trust that the small baby steps you put together with other small baby steps will create a realistic and doable routine. So it's about doing small routines, small baby steps, putting small baby steps together for a small routine, and then that build on that. So here she gives quite a few examples of different things that you could do to build those routines. And I'll give you a few things that I highlighted that stood out to me. So the first one is about eating. So if you are one who never eats breakfast or you eat something unhealthy for breakfast, switch that. The baby step is making this small but healthy change. So that means that if you're hungry and instead of just drinking a soda or eating a donut or something, or just not eating at all, then change that to just a handful of nuts or, something along with our water. And the next one she talks about is being in a rush. So it's kind of like for me, I want to do my morning pages. So I I want to be able to be up early enough so that it's quiet. I'm able to sit and write those 3 pages, because it's going to take me a while, because I have to stop writing after a couple minutes maybe, because I have a lot of pain in my hands. And then with this surgery, it still hasn't really, the pain still hasn't gotten to the point where I can use my hand more than a minute or two with writing or something. And I try to push it, and then I pay for it. So I know I need to get up earlier, which requires baby steps, which requires me to not wait until the last minute and just wake up and brush and try to, get out the door for an appointment or whatever it is that you're rushing to work, instead of trying to sleep as late as possible before you're going to be late. Try to get up a few minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier than usual. Do something, put in your walk at that time. Just add a little bit more movement to the day for yourself, instead of being in a rush and trying to like get out and get ready and going immediately. So for me, that would mean probably getting to bed earlier, because I used to try to get to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock, because I wake up a lot at night. And it's hard for me to go back to sleep. And I know by 3:30, around that time, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be awake till about 4:30. And then I'm going to sleep for another little bit. I'm going to wake up again at 5:30. But if I know that, I need to start making a routine of getting to bed earlier instead of staying up till 10:30. And then slowly, hopefully trying to work on getting my sleep routine better, so I can sleep, get enough sleep, and whatever that requires. Another thing is just having a small doable plan. So not to stress over this, not making it something that is going to consume your mind and just add to the list of things that are already stressing you out and overwhelming you. It has to be something that you can do without having to change everything all at once. So like, if you do evening meals, like she's talking about going through a drive-through, well, instead of that, plan ahead of time, right? Do a menu, grocery list. If you have a day where you can make meals ahead of time and freeze something if you know you're going to be busy or something like that, that's a small baby step. Also, not to make this harder than it is for yourself. So, it's that idea of, I can't do this. I have too much weight to lose. I have too many things that are stacked up against me. How am I going to ever overcome this stuff? How am I ever going to get healthy? How is, depending on what type of health issues you have, how can I regulate this? How can I either reverse this if I can, or how can I get to the point where it's in remission? So instead of overthinking and beating yourself up, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are worth taking care of. The baby step is slowly learning to let go of stinking thinking of the past. And that's where, I think for me, that's where the morning pages come in. Also journaling, just my regular journal where I do devotionals or read devotionals and do notes, daily Bible reading, prayer, listening to positive praise and worship music or positive podcasts or something. Finding something that speaks to your soul and just brings you some joy. And then another baby step is choosing one new thing to become a habit. So whatever that means for you, what would you love to do? What is it that would bring you joy? So for me, one thing I had started not too long ago, back in March, is doing watercolor painting. And I want it for fun. I just thought it would be fun to just try something. I have no idea how to draw. I never really did much of that ever, really, except for things that we had to do in school or something like that. But I never really took it to the level of being for fun or just to try things, because if I couldn't do it right away, I wasn't going to continue. So now I've done that, and it does help bring me some peace of mind. It's kind of like journaling. It's another form of healing for me. Sometimes when I am dealing with a lot emotionally, even physically, I have to find a way to decompress, to kind of share what's going on inside of me with the page in front of me, just to get it out. So if the words don't come in the form of writing, watercolors, even if it's just putting a bunch of colors on the back of a page and it doesn't even look like anything at all, just a sky or whatever. That's one new habit that I started now. Another thing that I would like to do is just the stretching. Something to reduce pain, because it's gotten really bad. Again, I mean, seems like I go through periods where it gets really, really bad. Like, they always ask you at the doctor or whatever, what's your pain level at? And it's from a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 being the worst. I was used to being on a good day about a 4 or 5. And I just learned how to deal with that because I didn't know what was happening, and I never wanted to say anything because I thought, no, it'll go away. It'll go away. It'll go away. So I never dealt with it. So now, it's been, my good days have gone through like a 6, 7-ish. And I'm like, okay, if that's a good day, now it's getting to like closer to the higher, 8s or something, are the bad days. And it's just a consistent thing. And, I do, have to take some pain meds, and I really hate doing that. So I really want to learn some more natural ways of dealing with that. And I do have some things that I have tried that do help, which like taking turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving you medical advice. These are just things that I've tried. And just, I do the hot teas. Sometimes certain ones can help, that are supposed to help with pain and just like relaxing the body. So there's things that I can try that I just need to get back to. The next thing that I highlighted was practice them. So practice all these baby steps, right? Having your steps written out on paper will help you more than anything. Decide which steps are your lead steps. Baby steps are the key. So what is the most important thing for you right now? For your health, for your mental health, emotional health, your physical health? What is going to get you the most benefit? So if it's just something that you need to get a 5-minute walk in, do some deep breathing exercises, whatever it is. And if you'd like to share some of the ideas that you have that you want to try, please share them below, because I'm open to all ideas, just to kind of try to figure out what's working. I know there's I can't remember what it is called that I tried in therapy, Monday bilateral stimulation, where they put the headphones on and the sound goes from ear to ear. And I had these little like vibrating pieces in my hands, and just talking through things and trying to move out some of the anxiety out of my body. It was really hard because it's such a deep-seated issue that I've got, that I've held on to for so long, I've never wanted to deal with. So there's so much packed in, but this is my baby step, learning how to deal with that. So we have tried the all or nothing system, and it does not work for most of us. We do too much too fast in order to see immediate results, and then we crash and burn, and we have failed again. I don't want you to fail. I want for you what I have, and this is Fly Lady. Peace, and this peace came from practicing the steps to my routine. So once you practice the steps to your routine, you have them written down and you start them, and just continue, and add on another one every so often. Then you're going to be able to find your rhythm, find your routine, find the things that work for you the best. So these are the 3 key factors as we move forward into dealing with our body clutter, which we talked about, I believe, in the last chapter. I believe it was in the last chapter. Oh, yes, it was. It was the attitude, well, the food, the movement, and the attitude. So when we incorporated incorporate the food, the movement, and the attitude into positive things and positive baby steps, that's going to help us to eliminate body clutter. So I'm going to share, I will share again one of the pictures of this. I don't think you can see them very well on this. Now, really what this body clutter mission for us is what habits have you already established in a normal morning and evening routine? We all have something that we do. Like I have my coffee in the morning. So that's the first thing I do, that after getting up and all the other things, you go to the bathroom, you do all the things you do, and then you go, what is it? Water and coffee. That's my thing. And then my journaling. But what else? What do you do? And what else can we stick in there? What other baby step can we add? So write down what you're already doing. Write that down and then add a new small baby step. Just one. And if you have a calendar, stickers, washi tape, highlighters, markers, colored pencils, whatever you want to do, use those to, this is what she says here: as you practice a new habit, celebrate your accomplished ones by giving yourself a star, a happy face, or any other symbol of success next to that. So like if one of your routines is to drink more water. So you usually drink, let's say 3 cups of water or whatever. You want to drink more. So you start drinking and you make it to that 5 cup or whatever it is, mark it. And then you're going to feel like I accomplished this, and I can look back and see where it was marked that I did this. So now I know I can add more water. I can add, when you add your better foods and you eliminate the bad one, mark these things down and celebrate the small things, celebrate the small successes, so that you will want to move on and do the big things and better things for yourself. So that's it for now on this one. And I will share my schedule or my routine, because right now I did do part of it, but it's not how I'm gonna or how I want to do it necessarily. It's just going to be what I've added is morning is my water and my coffee routine already. My morning pages routine, I want to add in breakfast, which I don't normally do because I do have Ladybird coffee bombs in my coffee, which are like organic grass-fed butter, organic bovine collagen, and organic MCT oil or coconut oil in there. So but I know that I get distracted. So I won't eat. I'll wait and wait and wait, and half the time I don't eat until dinner time. And then I'm like having dizzy spells, headaches, my stomach hurts, because I'm not getting enough food. And a lot of times that has to do with distraction, ADHD, the whole thing. Sometimes it has to do with the depression, it's anxiety, there's a whole lot of things going on, plus just not feeling well because of the injection. So then I don't want to eat. And it just becomes this vicious cycle. So one of my things is trying to get in some type of breakfast. And one thing that I watched a channel, the channel name is Eric. I will link his channel, or at least if I remember, if I can find the video, about what I'm going to share, I'll link directly to the video. But he deals with chronic illness as well, and one of the things he struggles with is eating. Sometimes, especially with like the high anxiety days and things like that, I think is what the comment that I just got to. He was talking about anxiety and how sometimes he just won't eat. It has to be simple, something easy, something that won't make him sick, right? Because some foods, just with chronic illness, autoimmune disease, you have issues, food sensitivities, which is something I'm struggling with. And one thing that he shared is that sometimes he eats these squeezable baby foods. And I thought, hey, I can have those. I can put those in my lunch. I have this little lunch backpack, cooler type of thing. And when I go on appointments, because I have to go out of town, sometimes I won't eat in the morning before I leave. Sometimes I'll have coffee. Sometimes I'll forget to do that, and I just have water. But then sometimes I have to go directly to the appointment, and that takes, it's about, depending on where I'm going, it's either a 20 to 25 minute drive to about a 40-minute drive. And that means another hour or so before I have a chance to maybe eat, because it depends on what I'm going to do after the appointment, because sometimes I have other things. I have to pick up prescriptions, and like I try to get everything done in the day that I have to absolutely be out, so that the rest of the time I'm home and I don't have to leave the cabin. So I got these, and I wasn't sure how I don't know. I still haven't tried them yet. So I think I just have these 5. I have some issues with texture with food, so I'm hoping that I can get past that, because they're just going to be like a snack or whatever, and just to kind of have something in my system, and they're healthy. So I got this beech nut kind of, it's veggie, zucchini, spinach, and banana. And the other, I got Plum Organics, apple, blackberry, coconut cream, and oat. And then those I got at Walmart. And I feel like I got another one. I think I do have another one. I think it's in my bag. I think it's another fruit one. I think it was no, this is a blackberry. It may have been strawberry or something like that. And I got these ones at Smith's. This is apple, raspberry, avocado, and this is Earth's Best Organic. This one is the organic banana, blueberry, and oat. And this one is the organic apple, peach, and oatmeal. And so I'm going to try these. As I said, I like all the stuff that is listed on the front. And a lot of these are like from 40, like the beech nut one is 45 calories. The others, there's 3 that are 60 calories and 1 that is 70. The carbs range from like 10 grams, 13, 15, 13, 16 grams. So the highest one is 16. So I figured, I can try that. And then I got some of my niece, she loves to eat these. She's in her 20s and she still loves to eat these. And I should have tried these sooner. They're the Banana Puffs. And these things are good. And these are, I don't know that I'd have them all the time, because they're, I don't know. We'll see. I do like them, but I may get sick of the taste of banana after a while. Plus, I think I have a slight sensitivity to banana sometimes. If when I eat a banana, my mouth will burn a little bit. These ones didn't do that, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. And these ones are, per serving is 60 pieces, and it's 25 calories, and it's 6 grams of carbs. So it's pretty decent for me, especially with diabetes and all that. So I'm going to try that. And I'm really grateful that I found that video, because I would never have thought to try something like this. And they are pretty healthy, and I think they'll work. So I'm going to give one a try today, and I will check when I do my check-in and stuff. I'll let you guys know how that went. So that's it for this video, and I will be back with chapter 8 soon. And then I know I don't know. I'll be back with chapter 8 soon, and I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed day, afternoon, evening, whenever that you're watching this. Thank you for joining me, and God bless you. Bye.